Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. In today's video, I'm going to give you an unboxing, my thoughts, and a quick review of the Nightmare on Elm Street 7-film collection Steelbook set. I would say arguably one of the biggest releases to come out of September 2025, especially for horror fans, is the 7-film Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Now, this is available as a standard release. You can pick this one up anywhere. I even think some local retailers have it. But there's also an Amazon exclusive Steelbook set, which according to them is limited to 15,000 sets. Now, to my knowledge, these 15,000 are worldwide. It's not just limited to what we get here in the States. I know the UK also has an allotment. I'm seeing numbers like 4,000 being thrown around per territory. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but as of right now, you cannot get this one. So if you're looking to pick it up, you're going to have to go on places like eBay or some other third-party seller, and you're going to definitely be paying a premium. Now, for me, I was very much hoping to pick up the Steelbook set. I was able to get my order in, and of course, as we get closer, you get that, little uncertainty, especially when it comes to Amazon releases these days. You don't know if you're going to be put on the do you still want this item list or whatever the thing is, but thankfully, all went well. I got it. It came completely undamaged. I gotta say, I really loved it. I think it's a really nice collection. It is absolutely a shelf hog, which I'll also touch on in a few minutes, but it's really cool. It has some little extra things that you don't typically see in a Steelbook set, at least as far as the outer casing goes, which I'll touch on in a few seconds, but I like it. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's go into my unboxing, and then I'm going to come back and just give you my thoughts and a quick review. Now, typically in the last few years, we've gotten Steelbook releases that have come in this form of case. It holds however movies are in the series, and I go back and forth. Sometimes if I like the case, I'll keep it. Otherwise, I'll just put the discs individually on their shelves. This one, I love the design. I cannot see myself setting it aside. Really, it is a shelf hog. Let's be upfront about that. It is 100% a shelf hog. But I love the detail. I mean, there's some embossing here where, you would get, Freddy's neck area, and of course, you've got some of the holes and stuff in it, and I love how it looks on the shelf. I think it looks really, really good in person. They really went the extra mile. And of course, you also have some slight on the side there, right there. I mean, I think it looks great. And then on the top, you have a Nightmare on Elm Street 7-film collection. Looks really cool. It's just sleek. Now, to show the movies themselves, there we go. This is what we're dealing with here. Once again, when I display it on the shelf, it's going to be this way. It's going to be this way. But you can also, of course, do it this way as well, which has all 7 of the movies individually. Only the first movie was released previously as a Steelbook, which I'm still holding on to. And of course, you also have the individuals that have like variations of the original artwork. So you have that. And then the first one in the set comes with a certificate of authenticity. I got number 17 out of 15,000. It's a low number. Really, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's still kind of nice to have it. And then you have also the disc itself. Disc number 2. The movie's okay. Part 2 kind of gets away from the typical what was established in the first movie, but it has its moments. We have 3. I like 3. I think 3 it's a good movie. It's really a direct sequel off of the first one, but it's still, really a solid flick. Number 4. This one, it's still a fine movie. This is where you start kind of losing what made the original like special. I mean, it still has some entertaining bits about it, but Once you get, yeah, I was telling a friend the other day, it's kind of like at this point, it's the law of diminishing returns as far as quality goes. And five, after rewatching this one, I love the opening. I love the first maybe 10, 15 minutes, but I don't really care for the rest of the movie after that. It's just, it gets downright goofy. And Freddy's dead. I mean, come on. It's got Roseanne and Tom Arnold in it, so that should tell you all you need to know. And then, of course, it also has the 3D glasses, which I chose not to use for this time because it's just terrible 3D, but at least they're in there if you're interested in watching it that way. And lastly, we have New Nightmare. I love the concept of the movie. I don't love the execution, but once again, it's better than the last couple. It's but it's still, I don't know, something about it just it didn't quite work for me, but it's okay. So if you're a longtime fan of the channel, you know I have a typical format that I do when it comes to reviews. I thought about doing something very similar or just as I usually do for this particular set, but I was looking back at my original A Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook review, and I think really after going through all the films, there's not a whole lot I can really add as far as just breaking each film down because you can't buy these individually. If you're going to buy this, you're buying the whole set. So I'm just going to give you my broad strokes review. But I will say, if you want to check out my original 4K review for the original film, a lot of my thoughts are going to mirror the additional 6 movies in this collection. And I'm going to grade them as such. But just to kind of give you a little bit of what I think about the transfer. So after watching all the movies, I think they look really, really good. Are they perfect? No, I don't believe any 4K disc is perfect. But from what you get over the old Blu-ray, it is a nice bump. I think all the film's benefits. They all support HDR. There's no Dolby Vision grading on this one. They didn't regrade the original movie in Dolby Vision. So HDR across the board. I think visually they look good. Nice color palette on all of them. Black levels, I think, are very serviceable. They look really good. But when it comes to actual grain, I think it's managed very well. And when I say managed, I mean it's more authentic. It's more cinematic. There are a few, looks like some touch-up spots here and there in a couple of the movies. Nothing I felt really just derailed the whole thing that made it, oh, this isn't a good looking transfer. Each movie looks really good in its own way. I think part 4 actually is one of the strongest transfers in this entire collection. I also really like what they did with 1. I think 1 is it's nice and creepy, atmospheric. I think it looks really good. And then you go to New Nightmare, the last film in the set. It's arguably going to look the best, and I think it really looks solid on 4K. But the other films in the collection, I feel, stand out well. No real egregious problems that I could tell. And each movie has also been given a Dolby Atmos upgrade, and my thoughts on the original movie's Atmos stand with the additional sequels. They don't fundamentally change the sound design all that much. I mean, the additional height channels are used very sparingly, but there are some clever moments here and there. I believe I think 3 had a couple interesting moments. There was a really couple interesting ones also in New Nightmare that I really liked. And it's mostly used for ambience and atmospheric extension, but it's very light. There are, as I said, there are some clever audio moments in, I think, pretty much every one of the films. And I think it's a good upgrade audio-wise. I really enjoy what they did here. I don't think if you're an Atmos fan, I think you'll really appreciate what they have presented as far as the audio goes. And I will say, I think the most disappointing thing is, and they did this, of course, with the original movie that came out last year, they didn't include any new bonus features. So all of the bonus features that are present are ported over. There was nothing new really added. So, some are more extensive than others, but there isn't a whole lot of, I would say, meaty content. Some interesting, pieces here and there, supplements. But if you have previous editions, you've pretty much seen all these before. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to grade the collection. I think grading what I did on the original film on 4K is pretty much carries over to the entire set. I wouldn't knock it down any points, but I wouldn't really elevate it past it either. So the picture quality, I gave this one an A minus. Looks really good. There are some very nice uses of HDR. The palette, I feel, benefits very well from it. And I think grain looks really good. Some slight management on a couple spots here and there throughout the series, but nothing I would really say was a something that I would just knock it down for. But I think it looks really good and it's very consistent. The Atmos tracks also very much appreciated. I scored them an A minus. Really nice, very good use of the Atmos in certain spots. More of course towards the atmospheric side of things, but there are a few clever audio cues sprinkled out. And the extras, I did grade them overall B. Nothing new, but there are still some good bits of content here and there. As I said earlier, the Steelbook collection is sold out. There was an online outlet that asked Warner Brothers if they were going to be making any more. They don't plan to. I don't see this one getting a reprint anytime soon. But if you want it, you're going to have to go to a third party for it. Unfortunately, those premium prices, I was looking at them. They're out there, but you have to really be a fan of the Steelbooks and the Nightmare series in order to really want to invest that kind of money on it. But there are still people that have pre-orders in that are waiting to hear back from Amazon for, getting a restock or whatever of the existing 15,000. So there's still drama going on with this set, but still the standard release is real. Actually, I really like the artwork on that one as well. It's very simple, but it's really cool. So diehard Steelbook collectors are going to want to add this or have already added it, but I like it. To me, this is one of the top Steelbook releases of 2025. I absolutely will have this one in my collection forever. So yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on the A Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook collection from Warner Brothers. Let me know in the comments section. Did you opt to go for the Steelbook set? What did you think of it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it meh? Sound off down below. Or did you go for the standard release? I want to hear all about it, so let's talk about it in the comments. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.